our Monroe Village Town Hall meeting. It's so nice to see so many of you here. I will ask for your patience this morning in that we are using some new technology, and we all know how that usually goes. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that I don't have to give the exasperated look again to somebody in the back of the room. So we'll see how it goes, but bear with us. We'll figure it out as we go. We do have another full meeting for everyone today. We want to make it worth your while for coming out this morning. Lots of information to share and lots of good things going on. So with that, we will get the meeting started, and I would like to introduce to all of you the, I guess, newest, I think, member of our leadership team here at Monroe Village and Village Point. Luanne Del Pietro, who I've mentioned to you all before, has joined us as our new administrator and assistant executive director. Luanne comes to us with years of experience, spent 31 years at the Atrium at Navesink, one of our sister communities, in a variety of roles that I will allow her to share with you a little more. And she is now with us over at Village Point and is doing lots of good things with the team over there already. I'll let her share a little bit of that as well. So if you wouldn't mind, put your hands together for a warm welcome for Luanne Del Pietro. Watch yourself, don't trip.
Thank you. What an introduction. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to your meeting. I'm happy to introduce myself and get to know all of you as time goes on. As Jay mentioned, I'm the administrator for Village Point. I come with some background of nursing. I am a registered nurse. I am board certified in gerontology. I do have my Bachelor of Nursing degree, and I did have my assisted living license as well as now my nursing home license for administration. I worked at the Atrium at Navesink Harbor, as Jay said, for 31 years, and I held just about every role there was over there. Started as a charge nurse. I was a clinic coordinator, I was the director of nursing, MDS coordinator, and was director of health services. I know that there was some transition going on over here at Village Point, and I've known Jay for years. I actually did my administrator in training here at Village Point, and I've known Jay since he joined the company. And I offered some help when some things were transitioning at Village Point. And when I came over and started helping him, I realized what amazing people were here, the staff, the residents, everybody. I just wanted to be a part of such an amazing campus. It was a really difficult decision for me because I have an awesome community at Atrium in Red Bank, which is your sister facility. But I saw some real challenges and some excitement and momentum going on here, and I was lucky enough that I was able to join your team. So I'm looking forward to bringing some changes to the healthcare community and the rehabilitation center. I invite you to come over and visit. I'm here about 5 weeks, and we've restructured the nursing department, which has been working out beautifully so far with the cooperation of Jay and his guidance. We now have Tara Callahan Rodriguez as our director of nursing. She was promoted from the assistant director of nursing. And we're not going to fill the assistant director of nursing. We chose to have 4 unit coordinators. So there's 1 RN on each neighborhood over at Village Point. So it provides better nursing service, better customer service. There's a direct contact for all the family members. So we're hoping to see a lot of satisfaction there as a result of that. We brought on a lot of new team members that are energized, motivated, and all want to do their best to serve the residents at Monroe Village and Village Point. So I think good things are ahead for us, and I'm very excited to be part of it. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Luanne. Now, it's important to note Luanne has known me for the better part of 16 years, and despite that, she still chose to come here. So I don't know, you all worked your magic and charm, as well as the crew over at Village Point, to get her here over, knowing me and all the fun and chaos I can create from time to time. But we are very, very happy to have Luanne here, all kidding aside. She is a tremendous asset to our community, to our team, specifically over at Village Point. And we look forward to lots of really, really great things and continuing the rich tradition we've already established over there. A particular note, just to let you all know, Village Point recently reached a new milestone last week. We had 110 residents at Village Point. Now, who can tell me how many beds there are at Village Point altogether? Esther in the back.
96.
120. There are 120 beds at Village Point. We had 110. Now, here's the real math question. What percentage is 110 of 120?
Very good.
Over 90. I heard 90. We'll go with that. It's almost 92% occupancy, which is tremendous because the average occupancy in skilled nursing communities these days is hovering in the mid 70% range, like 72, 74%. So for us to be at 92% occupied over there is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment and a credit to all of the staff over there, because the reason that we're able to hit such high numbers is that many, many people at the hospitals know that we are the premier location for rehab and getting people back on their feet and going again. So it's really, really nice to see the rehab census grow from outside, as well as to see our long-term population hitting almost 100% occupancy in those neighborhoods as well. So really good stuff for all of us to be proud of. It speaks very highly of the care and service that we provide at Village Point, as well here on the Monroe Village side of the street as well. So really, really good stuff. So speaking of really good stuff, next, there we go. I told you technology can be entertaining. Next is our Director of Sales and Marketing, Nathan Perez, who has some other good news and stuff to share with us. So, without further ado, here's Nathan.
Thank you everybody. How are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. We're gonna roll through a roll-up of, this looks different.
Yeah,
We're
it looks different.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
go
what I
through a roll-up of last month's production, right? And our production to goal, and then we'll just take a look ahead a little bit. All right, great. So in January, we had a sales goal of 4, and we did hit that goal. We had 4 sales in January, and we had a closing or move-in goal of 3, and we did exceed that goal by 1, so we had 4 folks move in or close, at least on paperwork, right? Sometimes closing for us is just simply payment and assumption of the monthly fee responsibility, and then they'll physically move in a couple weeks later. So anytime I talk about closings, it's not necessarily a physical move-in date. It is, though, joining us as a community member. In January, we sent out a pretty large piece. Typically every January we like to send out a reintroduction piece, we call it, and so that's a piece that will take a look at snippets of the lifestyle, snippets of the dining program, the pricing structure, highlight some residents, just gives people an overview, and it's a very large mailer that we usually do to reintroduce us to new markets, right? So this piece did feature heavily with new resident photos that people took part in last summer to take pictures of. We had the Gelbs, we have the Volks in there, a few other folks that joined us in that piece as well, and then new pictures of the common area and model apartments. We had 80 inquiries from that, and 16 of them were new leads just from that direct mail piece, which is a pretty good response. And that pushed our inquiries and our re-inquiries above our goal for January. So we are still seeing a very strong traction of inquiries, as well as, more importantly, or equally as important, I should say, re-inquiries. Again, re-inquiries are folks that had maybe raised their hand before and then put things on the back burner for a little bit, and they are now coming back to us and saying, hey, we're interested again. So typically those folks are a little bit more educated, they know a little bit more about the community because they've been working with us, for some months or even sometimes some years. So that is still encouraging us to feel like we're gonna have a pretty strong spring and summer market. So sales and closings, we are on target right now. We've had a pretty good opening to the year. We do have a good pipeline of move-ins through March and even one into April. So I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get close to or exceed our goals this year. Usually the first quarter is a pretty important quarter, right? It's a pretty good indicator of what kind of year you're gonna have or what kind of game you're gonna have. So that is on our radar, we're watching that. Some ways you can help us. Just a reminder, you can always refer your friends to us. That simply means you bring us their name as well as some sort of contact, their address, their phone number, their email, whatever way they are wanting to be contacted by us. We will reach out to them and then we'll take it from there. All right, just a reminder, on receiving a monthly fee credit for that, please do just bring us their name, or if you know they're starting to work with us, bring us their name. Don't come to me after they move in and say, hey, I referred them because I had lunch with them one time. That's not necessarily a referral. But certainly we're pretty generous. Those of you that have referred your friends to us, we're pretty generous about saying, hey, if you're involved at all in the process and you brought the name to us, or they come to us later on after touring and saying, hey, I know a friend here, we're pretty generous in saying, all right, you're gonna receive that referral credit. I just ask that you stick within the boundaries of the program and just bring us the name. So you can also provide a testimonial for our website, collateral pieces, or social media. Resident recommendations, your family's recommendations online are very, very crucial to us showing up at the top of search engines, whether that's Google or any of the other search engines out there. So the more positive reinforcement we can put out there, the more folks can find us. So even if it is a simple 2-sentence, making it great through the pandemic and I'm keeping busy. Or I moved in recently and there was a snowstorm and it was great to look out and not have to shovel the snow. Something as simple as that can be so meaningful to people when they're looking for us. All right, so just think of, you don't have to create this whole long, I've been here for 10 years, or I've been here for 5 years and hear this long story. No, it could be something as simple as they did a great job with the snowstorm recently. All right, or we're excited that dining is starting to open up finally, something like that. And certainly take part in welcoming new residents and prospects. Thank you so much every time you stop myself, my staff, whenever we're touring people, and just give a really unsolicited plug for the community. That goes over so much with people. What that does is that leaves people with the impression, the true impression, that this is a very warm, friendly community that takes itself seriously, but not that seriously, right? And that is not something that you get when you tour some of our sister communities or our competition. There are some communities out there that take themselves a lot more seriously than we do, and that can be good for some markets or some people, but can really turn other folks off, right? So just continue to be the great, warm, welcoming community you are, and that helps us a great deal as well. Speaking of being welcome, I figured, since we're moving in a lot of people and we talk about these numbers all the time, we should put a face to the name. We should talk about who's moving in. So ongoing, I'm going to just welcome our newcomers to the community. I think that's very important to acknowledge them joining us, even if they're not here in this room, even if they're not seeing us on the recording of this. It's good for people to know that we appreciate them joining our community and growing our community. So we are going to highlight them, whether they have physically moved in or not. We're going to say their names here every month and welcome them to the community. So to the family. So Brenda Rothstein closed with us in January. Carl and Carol Inglesi also moved in January. Ellen Schneider moved in January. Bob and Carlin Schwanke also moved in January. And Sandra Sirkin just closed with us about last week. I don't think she's physically landed here yet. I think she's coming in on Monday or Tuesday of next week. So she will be moving in as well. So those are the 5 folks that have joined us since the beginning of the year, and we welcome them and thank them for joining our community. Thank you all, and appreciate all your support.
Thanks, Nathan. Great start to the year. Lots of exciting news, new folks joining us here to have all the fun that we do. Like Nathan said, you know, we like to have fun. We take ourselves seriously, but not too seriously, because if you take yourself too seriously, well, we know what that leads to. So we don't want that. We want to have fun. We want to be engaged. We want to be involved. We want to do lots of great stuff. Who helps us do that great stuff? Besides Steve Ween, it's also Cindy Felter, our Director of Resident Services. And oh, look, she's getting applause before she even comes up. Look at that. Who did you pay to do that, Cin? Gina, you paid Gina. There you go. Anyway, please welcome to the podium, Director of Resident Services, Cindy Felter. You want me to go?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I just want to tell a quick story about one of the pictures we saw today in this scroll. I have such moments of joy in this job. And this morning at 5:45 was one of them. Somebody sent me the picture of Tony sitting on Jerry's lap. I don't know if you all saw that. And I started to cackle because I just thought it was so funny. Almost woke up my husband. Because I love seeing just the random shots of people thriving here. And it's really gratifying. That's why we do this. Also gratifying is when somebody comes and says, I need some help. Maybe not a lot. Maybe it's 15 minutes and we can use the PCA. Or maybe it's they need 6 hours and we help them find an agency with an aide. Or maybe it's somebody saying, I don't think I can do it independent living. I need to move up to another level of care. It is so gratifying to see somebody transition from one place to another and then go back and they're thriving. And that happens with Gina and I. If we take somebody across the street and we go back and we see them interacting where maybe they were in their apartment and not doing much and they're happy. So if you remember, that's why I'm here. So if you need any help in that way, or you're starting to think, well, I want to see what's out there, just give me a call. I'd love to talk with you and see how I can lighten your load. Okay, so first I'm going to start. On the 17th, we are having a heart health program, and a cardiologist will be here, Dr. Patel.
It's not on there.
And no, it's not.
That's okay. So
Okay.
pay no attention to the words on the screen. There you go. Go back to that.
Right. We couldn't because of the glitch. Heart healthy snacks. It's going to be very interesting, and that's going to be on Thursday, next Thursday, at 7 p.m. And now I'll go into the fun stuff. So as you know, Steve does an excellent job getting entertainment. He really does, and he takes great pride in it. So if you have anybody you know of also who's a dynamic entertainer, let us know. But I'll read it off. For the 1st of March, we're doing Mardi Gras with a swing band, and that's at 2 p.m. Olga Winokur, I think you said she was a pianist? Yes. Okay. Yes. And that'll be 3/5, so March 5th at 7:15. Jimmy Burns, if you've been down the shore, you know he's a huge name. Huge name. So he's actually going to be here on the 10th at 7:15. And that's for St. Patrick's Day. His family is like royalty down there with their Italian.
Yeah, all those Italians that celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
With their, Gina, with their Irish heritage and their songs and their music. Angela Escanella is March 12th at 7:15. Fred LaHoyte and the Ragtimers. That's going to be a St. Patrick's Day show, so be sure to come to that. You're going to sign up. That's at 7:15. Jay Daniels is on the 19th at 7:15. Okay, and that's all thanks to the Kiefer Fund, which is amazing that we have this fund here and that we can use it for our entertainment is just a gift. Okay, now this is fun. Some people probably have seen this demonstration, so they come, Howling Woods Farm, come with wolves and wolf dogs. Is that right? And so they will be bringing them. So we're all excited about that. So that's Thursday, the 24th at 1:30. And we have a lecturer coming, and she dresses in the traditional garb and she does a lecture. And this is for International Women's Day on Monday, March 28th. So be sure to come. People love her. What else do I have? Oh, so people have been calling about the tax letters, the letters that go out, and it's at the end of February for your accountants that say, you know, you have this type of apartment, you spent this much in taxes monthly and yearly. So I just want to assure people they are coming. They come from the home office and they'll be here at the end of the month. Anything else?
No, that's
That's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Cindy. Lots of good stuff coming up, lots of fun and entertainment, and Cindy's right. If you have, I think we've had the wolf dog folks here before, and yeah, and it's a tremendous presentation. I don't know how to describe it. These gentle giants. I mean, you know, even if you're not an animal or a dog lover, it's really fascinating. So we always look forward to that one. That's a really fun presentation and very entertaining.
Is that inside or outside?
It'll be inside. The dog sled races will be outside afterwards. I'm only kidding. No, there will be no dog sled races. Sorry. All right. So we talked about tax letters, which leads us to questions about our bills. Did you like that segue? So we've decided to add a new feature to our program here, and Maria Syriac, who we all know is our business office facilitator. Maria has been in that role for just under a year now. Prior to that, Maria has been our jack of all trades. She has done some nursing support for us, some clinic support for us, I think some dining support for us somewhere along the way. And she has taken hold of our business office in the last year and done a tremendous job. There's been a little bit of a learning curve, like all of us have when we start something new, but each and every month things are getting better, getting stronger. Maria sees ways that we can continue to provide you with excellent service from a business office standpoint and give you more options on how we process your monthly statements. So Maria is here to talk with us this morning about a new option and a new offering we have on how to pay your monthly bill. So with that, please welcome Maria Syriac. You all right hitting the buttons, or you want me to hit the buttons?
I can do it.
You can do it. That's what I figured. You're under 30. You can handle it.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone, and you probably guys don't see me too often. I'm downstairs across from the clinic. My office is right there. You guys welcome to stop by anytime. Gets a little lonely sometimes. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is we got this new software, CareGrove, in which you guys are going to be able to go online and you're going to be able to see your invoice. You're not going to see the itemized bill of every single thing that's on there, but you will be able to see the total, and you'll be able to have different payments options there. So it's a very trusted company. They specialize in senior living facilities like we are, so they know what they're doing. And you get 4 different electronic payment options. So you have the ACH processing, where you put in your banking information and then you write the amount that you want to deposit. There's the e-check, electronic check. It just works like a paper check, but you arrange the transaction online. There's you can now use your debit card and your credit card, but with those it comes a convenience fee. For debit card it's 99%, and for the credit card it's 2.99% fee.
Did you say 99%?
It's 0.99.
0.99, sorry. So it's actually a very easy setup. So everyone should have gotten in the mail along with their bill a packet, and it has a little letter explaining what it is and how to do it. So it's very simple. You just go online, and when it's your first time, you go to the sign up. If you have an email, If you don't have an email, you can go to Quick Pay and you put in your invoice number, and your invoice will pop up and the amount will be there. So like I said, everyone should have received it, and follow the steps. And if anyone has any issues with it and they want to try, I'm more than willing to help you guys out. This is your choice to do. You guys don't necessarily have to do it this way for those, because I know I've received many phone calls. If you have ACH, if you'll still have it, yes. If you're signed up for ACH and I'm told otherwise by you that you don't want to no longer do it, I will continue doing the ACH direct deposit. And once you guys get your invoices, it takes about 2 days for it to go online. So don't go online right away after you get your invoice, because it probably won't be there. Just wait 2 days and then it'll show up. So does anyone have any questions? Yes.
So, can you still pay with a paper check?
Repeat the question.
I don't have any of my.
Wait for the mic.
Here, repeat the question.
So she asked if you can still do paper checks, and yes, you guys still can do the paper checks. This is just a new option that we are offering to everyone.
Same as it used to be.
Yeah.
Get a bill.
Correct.
We'll get a bill, regular bill, or a bill of some kind, and we can pay that, and that'll be it. We don't need a machine.
Correct.
I'm old fashioned, I don't have them, I do it all by pen and ink.
Correct. You can still do it that way.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I pay my bill, most of my
Raise
bills.
your hand.
Here, wait, let's let the mic.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking a couple questions here because this is a very new process for all of us, but I don't want to get into individual specifics for folks. I think the important thing to note, and we can answer a couple questions, is that this is another option, another choice. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, it's there. It's all about choice. You want to write a check the old-fashioned way, like many of us do, that's fine. You want to have an automatic withdrawal, that's fine. You want to pay with a credit card, that's fine. It's all about choice. So with that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kind of steal your thunder there.
That's okay. This is a question that maybe other people might want answered also. I usually pay my bills online through the bank. Can I just go online and do that as well?
Yeah, you can. Like G just said, this is an option. It's
Okay.
You can still continue to do what you guys do normally. This is just a new option. It's simple and easy. But if you guys prefer your old way, then yes, you can.
This way I have everything in one place. Thank you very much. It's a good idea, by the way.
Fill over there.
You got one more, Tony, and then we'll.
On my bill this month, I was very glad to see a $250 veterans. Is that a one-shot deal?
So it's a yearly tax credit that each veteran gets in the beginning of each year, and that's the $250.
It's a yearly.
Yes, it's a yearly thing.
Thank you.
There, you got one more with Hal, and then we'll move on. Tony, right here in front. Raise your hand high, Hal. Yeah, go in front. It's okay. Walk in front of it. That way you're safe.
It's kind of rough though.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran,
Yeah.
I'm a veteran, but I've never heard of this $250 tax credit.
Okay, well, if you want, you can give me a call and we can talk about it. It's probably you guys are new residents, right? That's probably why they don't have you guys
Because
in
it would be
that
for
in
the
the
prior
system
year.
because it's from the prior year. So it's the credit isn't for like this year. It was for last year. And since you guys just moved in, that's probably why you do
But I
it.
moved in last year, November.
Yeah, you can call me and we'll discuss it together. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Maria. So yes, what Maria just spoke about this morning is just another option. All right, we continue to look for ways to give people choices and options. And as some people like, they still write checks. As some people like, They use their phones to pay bills. As some people like, they do through their bank, which is how I pay a lot of my stuff. It happens. You can use your credit card. It's all about choice. So as Maria said, if you have any individual questions, feel free to give her a call or to stop by, because she does get lonely down there. She'll be happy to see you and help you with any questions that you have. All right, so we move from paying bills to eating food. Mike Wierzbowski is our Director of Dining Services, and unfortunately he is out sick today. He didn't eat anything, trust me, it's all okay. He actually got his COVID booster yesterday, so he's feeling a little bit of a side effect from that. So he asked me to pinch hit for him and to fill all of you in on some of the things that are going on in our Dining Services Department. So we hope that you've noticed in the last couple weeks we rolled out the winter seasonal menus. They started, I think, in mid to late January. And then we also had a celebration for Chinese New Year. What was that? Just last week, I believe it was. Special menu, special programming, lots of good stuff for Chinese New Year. So, how do we follow up on those good things? Well, Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday, in case you didn't notice. So we will be having some specials for Super Bowl Sunday, as well as some special events, as you all know, for Super Bowl Sunday. So be on the lookout for those. And then immediately following Super Bowl Sunday is Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is Monday, and I believe you all received the note informing you that we will be open for table service in the Fireside Restaurant on Valentine's Day by reservation. So please, if you're interested in having a meal in the Fireside Restaurant table service style, give them a call and make your reservation. And then of course, the Village Bistro will also be open for dinner table service style, as we are now 7 days a week for dinner. What else is coming up? Well, Mardi Gras is around the corner, right? Fat Tuesday, and we'll have some special menu options for that. Followed, after we party, then we repent on Ash Wednesday, which leads us into the Lenten season. And then we'll also have specials for St. Patrick's Day. So we've got a lot of things coming up in the next month. So keep your eyes and ears open for how our dining services team is going to celebrate each and every one of these things. So, what's the best way to find out what you might want for dinner the next day? Well, among other things, you can look at channel 1979. And we have made an update based on resident feedback that you can now see the next day's menu specials starting at 8 p.m. the night before. So if you're interested in figuring out that evening what you want to order the next day, starting at 8 o'clock, it's on channel 1979. So I'd like to thank the Dining Services Committee for the suggestion of adding that as another way for folks to find out just a little bit sooner what they might want to choose from that next day. Except that's not the slide that's up there. Now that I see that, see, this is what new technology does to me. It's showing me a slide ahead. Speaking of the Dining Services Committee, they are our sounding board. They're your sounding board. We work very, very closely with the Dining Services Committee on a monthly basis to continuously look at what we're doing well, what we can improve upon, what we like, what we don't like. So we really want to continue to thank that group for their input and their involvement. And one of the things they are going to help us with at their next meeting is the winter season menu refresh. We'll be updating the winter seasonal menu. We'll be swapping out some of the specials, some of the entrees, some of the sides based on resident feedback. As you know, we do seasonal menus, so we have winter, spring, summer, and fall for our standard fare, and then within each season, we make changes, we make updates to what those seasonal menus are. And that's separate and distinct from the specials that we change every single night. So the Dining Services Committee is very, very valuable in helping us understand what the likes are, what the dislikes are, the hits and misses, so we can keep refining as each season goes along. And there's the slide about the daily menu specials are now on channel 1979 starting at 8 p.m. the night before. Okay? So you can always take a look at that for the preview of the next day's specials. Also coming up in March, it's National Nutrition Month, so we're very excited about that. And the theme this year is to celebrate a world of flavors. And we are going to have all sorts of flavors coming up during the month of March. Wait until you see. We have a number of joint events that will be planned with our Live Well team throughout the month. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for some additional specials, all revolving around National Nutrition Month during March. All right, just a reminder, if you are looking to place an order or to make a reservation in the Village Bistro, please give them a call at extension 6432. And if you are looking to place an order for your dinner meal in the Fireside Restaurant or to make reservations on the evenings when we do have the Fireside Restaurant open, and there's my little hint about what might be coming soon, you can give them a call at extension 6433. And again, I can't stress enough the importance of your feedback. Mike looks at every comment you provide, we review them, we talk about them at the Dining Services Committee. We want to hear your thoughts. Now remember, we are serving dinner every single night for 200 plus people, so there are some individual taste preferences that we may or may not be able to hit, but we look at the feedback in general and try to hit as many of them as we possibly can. And hearing from you is really, really important, so please don't hesitate to let Mike know. You can give him a call at 6424, or you can email him. I know there are several of you in the room that do that on a regular basis, and that's what helps shape those revisions to the seasonal menus, along with a lot of other things that we go through in the Dining Services program. So with that, I'll just offer a little update on staffing in Dining Services. You've seen that we have been making baby steps progress. We're now reopen in the bistro 7 nights a week for dinner with table service, which is great. And we are starting to see where we're maybe light at the end of the tunnel for dinner service in the Fireside Restaurant as well. It may not be every night, but we're looking to see what we can put together. So please keep, as I said, keep your eyes and ears open. You'll get additional information as we put that together. But step by step, we have been moving out of that great resignation period that so many businesses are facing right now. Okay, looks like it's my turn now. So I have just a few updates for you today. The first thing is to talk a little bit about, I mentioned at the beginning of our program that we were going through some technology upgrades. And we as an organization, SpringPoint, are partnering with a new company. Well, they're new to us. They're an existing operation called Prime Care Technologies. And they're helping us to move all of our network services to the cloud, which is a better way to ensure security of our network, security of our files and our documents and our systems, and ultimately better service for our residents. This week has been the transition here at Monroe Village and Village Point. And like any transition, it's been a little bit bumpy. We've had a lot of things that needed to be reconfigured and new equipment that needed to be issued, and some people tearing their hair out along the way, but we've gotten through it. Invariably, there'll be a few things that we thought we had situated that we didn't, and we'll work through all of that. But what's important for all of you to know is that this is really a behind-the-scenes operation. The impact to you as residents for your computers in your apartments or your internet service in your apartment is nil. The only impact on our residents is, number one, the computers downstairs near the library. They are being reconfigured and they will be up and running soon, if not already. And anyone who utilizes the wireless guest network here in the clubhouse, there is a new guest network, and once that is up and running, we will provide the new password for that guest network when people do come into the clubhouse if you use your iPad or your laptop or whatever for those folks who come into this area for Wi-Fi. Those are the only two things. But as far as your individual computers and your internet service in your apartment, there is no impact whatsoever. Okay? And then the second thing I wanted to mention today is we are moving forward with a COVID-19 booster mandate for all of our team members. Okay, so what does that mean? In the same way that we instituted a vaccine mandate for everyone who works all throughout the Spring Point organization, we have now moved forward with a booster mandate for all those who work within the Spring Point organization. And that deadline is coming up. It's February 28th. So we will continue to track all of our team members to make sure they have their booster as well as their original vaccination. And we believe that that is in the best interest of all of those we serve. All of you as our residents, all of our fellow team members, and everyone else who is part of the Spring Point family. So I just wanted to let you know we are continuing to move along in COVID vaccine and mandates and booster shots and keeping up with all of that. We are very happy to share that at present there are no COVID cases over here at Monroe Village, which is wonderful. We had a little spike, as I think a lot of places and a lot of folks did over the holidays and into January with the Omicron variant. But most of those, if not all of those cases, were very, very mild, if not asymptomatic, and we currently have no cases here on the campus.
My neighbor has it.
So that is the update there.
My neighbor has it.
And the last thing that I want to share is sort of a new feature for the month. I'm going to call it the Monroe Mailbag. A lot of you often send us notes of positive experiences that you have here with our staff or with one another. And we thought it would be great if we would share some of that with you at these town hall meetings. Now I know it might be a little bit difficult to read up there on the screen, so I'm going to share it with you. This month's mailbag solicitation was delivered by Bob Berkowitz, who is one of our independent living residents, and he wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge Mike and OT, Shailaja and PT, and Ashley, the gym instructor, for their professionalism and not only helping to get back, for him to get back a sense of normalcy, but also for going above and beyond in his journey getting there. He hasn't quite reached his goal yet, he wants us to know, but he is certain that with their aid and assistance, he will no doubt get there. Bob has spent his entire career in the medical profession, and he reports that it's a pleasure to see an organization with such a great medical team. Thank you, Bob Berkowitz. So Bob's in the back of the room. Bob, thank you so much for sending us that letter. And our thanks to Mike and Shailaja and Ashley for their hard work, not only with Bob, but with so many of you in doing things to keep people well, keep them happy, keep them healthy, and create the best experience we can. So if you'd like to be featured in the Monroe Mailbag, send us a note. Please highlight an experience that you have had that was exceptional with one of our team members, and maybe we'll feature you and them at a future town hall meeting. So, with that, we are going to move on. We're going to turn the lights up and we're going to get the microphones out. Oop, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing here. It looks good enough. All right, so we've moved on to the question and comment section of the show. So with that, if you have a comment or a question, we ask that you please raise your hand, raise it high, so that Tony can see you, and he will bring the microphone around, and then we can hear what you have to say. All right, so with that, I'll let Tony get things started. We'll look for hands in the air.
Yes, there was a question about the pneumonia shot. I haven't heard anything. I did sign up for it. Are you going to be giving it here?
Yes, that we are waiting a few more days for any additional sign-ups for the pneumonia shot. It was posted on the Touchtown screens as well as channel 1979, that if you were interested in getting it, to contact the clinic. So we're wrapping that up, and then it will be scheduled shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a plan in the works for us to be able to go to the dining room and order our dinner there?
Yes, and as I just mentioned during Mike's report, we're taking baby steps back
Okay.
to all of that. We want nothing more than to have full table service in the Fireside Restaurant and in the Village Bistro. The challenge has been staffing, and we are slowly making progress there, and we hope to have something to report in the next few weeks about the Fireside Restaurant.
Thank you.
Of course.
I was glad to hear that you were put, what was it? The menu for 8 o'clock the night before. And my question is if you can have the whole schedule of the event next day at 8 o'clock, starting 8 o'clock in the evening, because I don't see the advantage of watching what had happened before. If this can be done, it would be a very advantage for the people.
Gotcha. So that's a great suggestion, and we can certainly look at that. And I think what you're suggesting is, just like the menu is updated at 8 p.m. for the next day, update the activities at 8 p.m. for the next day. I'm not sure, I'm getting a nod in the back of the room that maybe we can't do that, but it's a great suggestion. If we can, we will, but if we can't, well, then we can't. It might be a computer issue. But it is important to note, don't ever forget, you've got your monthly calendar that is available that has everything listed, as well as the weekly sheet, right? There's a weekly sheet that goes out too that has things listed. So the more places we can get the information out there, the better. I don't disagree. But if we can't update it at 8 p.m., it definitely is updated at midnight for the next day, and then you have those other resources as well.
I've had people tell me that the movie reception is not really working out that well. In my apartment, I don't know if it's everywhere, I get a hum.
Yeah,
and it's very bad, and a lot of people have been telling me about that.
Yeah, we're aware of that, Larry, and it's something that we're working on. The problem is that darn technology again. You got too many hands in the pot. And what I mean by that is there's the broadcaster, then there's Comcast, and then there's your individual televisions. And it's one of those where we've talked to different people, and thus far, now you've all seen The Wizard of Oz, right? And everybody remembers the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, right? Now, do you remember the scene where Dorothy first comes upon the Scarecrow, and he's up on his perch, right? And she asks which way she should go, because there's a crossroads there, right? And the Scarecrow says, you can go this way, or you can go this way. And that's what all these different people do when it comes to some of these technology challenges. They go like this, and they point at one another to say, it's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. So we're trying to decipher all of that and get through it. It's not something that's easy, unfortunately, but it is something that needs to be corrected nonetheless.
Okay, thank you.
Yesterday we went to the bistro for dinner.
Hold it a little closer.
Went to the bistro for dinner. The lamb chops were excellent. that was a special favor. But we didn't know about that until the morning, what the special was, and when I called up, it was hard to get around. We had to go at 4:30 and just 2, we couldn't sit with anyone else. And you have to really call 2 days in advance to get a reservation.
Yep.
You don't know what they're having.
Yep.
2 days in advance.
Yep.
How do you do that?
Well, that's called the element of surprise. And you know, I hear what you're saying, so I don't mean to, I'm not mocking. But we are doing our best to get all the information out as best as we can. You know every night what the main fare is in the bistro. There are lots and lots of selections, and yeah, those specials don't come up until 8 o'clock the night before. And we're trying to give everyone the opportunity to get into the bistro to eat right now because it is our only dine-in option for dinner, and that's why reservations are only taken 2 days in advance. So as we work through all of this, we'd ask for your continued patience with that, and no matter what the special is, I can tell you it's going to be good. Julie.
Speaking about dining, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate these baby steps that we're taking. We've been eating in the bistro a few times over the last, since you've opened, and it's a wonderful experience. The new people you've hired are excellent.
Good.
And everything's terrific, so thank you very much. We're looking forward to the same in the dining room.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know the dining team appreciates that. They're working really hard. No one ever wanted to have to go and take steps backward. We had to take so many steps backward during the height of COVID that we never wanted to have to go back to again. And the frustration we've all faced is we made so much progress where a lot of other communities didn't in the face of COVID, and then we needed to slide back a little bit because of the challenges that came from staffing and the workforce shortage that everyone is facing. But we are making those baby steps, and we're just as excited about them. Absolutely.
Okay, one more issue about the dining. Meal times are really the opportunity when we can socialize.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little difficult to do it when you have a long table, and I was wondering if it'd be possible to have more round tables. We only have 1 or 2. If you could introduce that.
Yeah, the tables, you mean down in the Fireside Restaurant?
Yeah.
When people are able to come and bring their own food, we can look at the setups. There are some challenges to the way we do that. We want to make sure there's ample space for everybody to get around as well as the takeout that's going on, but we can take a look, all right? Maybe not any more round tables, but maybe we can take some of those long tables and break them up into squares.
Well, that would be good.
So that's maybe something we can look at. I can talk with Joe about that.
I don't like to get back to this topic, but you mentioned there's no COVID cases here. Yet one of my neighbors is in isolation with COVID.
Well, I'd be happy to talk to you about that individually because the information that you have may not be quite 100% accurate.
Well, I've spoken to her.
I understand. Yeah.
I'd like to make a recommendation for the chef, the new chef you got in the bistro, Nissimo. He is great, and he's very personable. He comes over, asks how everything was, and makes you feel good. And he does a great job. I'd just like to thank him.
All right, thank you for that. Yes, we have put together a nice new team that's forming up there in the bistro, and it's really good to hear that you're seeing those experiences. That's wonderful.
Jay, for everybody that's interested, can you give a more update on when we'll be receiving the information that we need regarding medical and real estate deductions so people can do their income taxes?
Yep, Cindy mentioned that during her presentation. Those tax letters will be generated and will be out to you within the next few weeks. They typically come in mid to late February. I think Ms. Schnall's got another one.
You were talking about the dining room. I have found that the portions are not what they used to be. I think they're much smaller.
Well, I'll offer you this. I don't know whether I can speak to that one way or the other, but if you do dine in, and I know right now that's not happening a whole lot, as you all know, you can always ask for more.
I just forgot to remind everybody that there's a Residents Association meeting Tuesday night, so I hope that you'll all attend. So far, we've had great attendance, and it's a good way to find out, like here, what's happening. So thank you very much.
Good promotion there.
Thank you. What was that? What did she say?
Don't forget the Residents Association meeting is next Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'd like to mention a couple of things related to the Health Committee. The brochure that we've planned is now ready to be printed, and we're waiting for the printing, so everyone will get a copy of the brochure, which gives us access points to all of the health services being provided. We also have in February, working with the people over at Village Point, we worked, so we'll have in that particular period, the one thing that was most often checked off on a questionnaire that we had, the health questionnaire. So this is the the residents. This is part of my brain thing that I got from my COVID 9-10 months ago. But anyway, we will be having our meeting in February, which will cover falls. Not only a description of the falls, and you'll get a flyer on that, but actually demonstrations by our great physical therapists and occupational therapists in our services, where they will actually demonstrate the things that will help you, if you observe them, prevent falls, which is one of the most constant and important things. We also will have for our veterans, we're scheduling a meeting. It will be the beginning of April, and we'll have a representative of the outreach program at Alliance Hospital, and a person as the outreach head of the VA. So for all veterans and all the spouses of veterans, and even spouses of veterans who have passed on, you will be hearing a lot about that. We do a lot of publicity that will give you an opportunity to learn an update of what all of the different veteran benefits are available, many of which are not even known by our members. So that's going to be a great meeting, and we'll even have refreshments. So we hope you come not only for the refreshments, but also for the subject matter.
All right.
And the other thing is, we will be having in April, hopefully, a meeting which will, our committee, working with Monroe Village, Cindy and the other members who are very supportive of our committee and working very closely with us. We will be having a meeting on incontinence, which was another thing that people talked about, thought about, they didn't talk about it, and put it down, check it off. So I think you're going to find a really exciting, lot of things coming out for veterans and also for the subject matter of some of our auditorium seminars and so forth.
Great stuff. Bernie, thank you so much for all that information. All right, I don't see any other hands in the air. So, with that, I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being such a participative group. Thank you for supporting your fellow residents and making Monroe Village the great place that it is. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend, and happy Valentine's Day.